So lie down and just have a breath on the floor. Can you take a few moments here, just sensing your body print? Just allowing your body to soften and feel your contact with the floor. The weight in each shoulder blade and the way your ribs touch the ground and your lower back and your pelvis and the weight in each heel and all the way up now from your heels to your head. Can you feel the point in the back of your head where you touch the ground? And now can you gently start rolling your head a bit from side to side? And this rolling motion, we want it to be on the floor. So you're rolling your head like a ball. And there is a slight difference between turning your head in place and rolling your head. So the head, when you roll it on the floor, it will come a bit towards one shoulder blade and then towards the other. And you're not just rolling in place. Each place on the head touches a bit to the side. So you're rolling your head kind of across the floor if you want. And just as you do this motion, can you feel what happens to your neck and to the weight in your shoulder blades? And just feel, how is your neck? Can you make the movement softer and easier now that the floor is supporting the weight of your head? And can you really imagine your head as a ball? How much effort do you need to roll a ball on the floor? Make it simpler, make the movement easier. And now we want to get the same feeling about our rib cage. So usually when we lie down, we might think of our backs as a flat object. Could you now open your arms shoulder height? So you open your arms shoulder height and bend your knees. And with your knees bent, can you start rolling now your pelvis? And as you do roll your pelvis, just simply, can you find again this diagonal movement of rolling the weight of the pelvis towards the right shoulder blade? So you press your left foot to roll the pelvis right and find the diagonal between the left foot and the right shoulder blade. And then you press the right foot to find the diagonal between the foot and the left shoulder blade. That's it. And with your arms open to the sides this time, can you feel what happens to the palms of your hands? Are they still sitting there on the floor, or is there a slight sliding motion? So with your hands open to the side, shoulder height, can you feel as you roll now, if your hands are standing still on the ground, if the palms of your hands are standing still, or if you feel them sliding with this rolling motion? And whether you do or you don't doesn't really matter, but we want to clarify this. So what we've been doing in the previous lesson was pressing the shoulder blade back, remember? So can you try this now? As you push through your foot, can you slowly feel the weight coming up, finding the diagonal path and pressing the shoulder blade back? And you will notice that if you press the shoulder blade back, the hand tends to stay still on the floor because you're twisting yourself almost in the same position, in the same place as you did with the head. Now we're going to try to do what we did with our head. So I want you to feel your rib cage, which is round. And can you Very slowly now, press through the left foot. And as the diagonal of the weight comes up, can you think of rolling through your rib cage? So now the shoulder blade becomes a bit heavier, but the direction is not now towards the floor, it's rather towards the side. And then when you press the right foot down, can you find this motion of rolling yourself on the floor and allowing the weight to roll to the side so that you find this diagonal path, not from the foot to the shoulder blade now, but from the foot to the palm of your hand. And you feel this gentle sliding of the hand on the floor as if you were reaching for something on the floor next to you. So do it very slowly and find the difference. Can you do both? Can you, for a few moments, press the foot and find this diagonal that goes into the floor so that the diagonal is now from the foot to the shoulder blade, from the foot to the alternate shoulder blade? The diagonal goes into the floor, yes. And then for a few times, you press through the foot, you roll your ribs, and you allow yourself to roll on the floor, allowing the path of the movement to reach from your shoulder blade through to your fingertips. And you're rolling now as if you were reaching to the side. So the path now doesn't go into the floor, but goes diagonally and out. And do it on one side and on the other. And can you figure out which side feels easier? This chain reaction of movement that begins from your foot, this muscular chain reaction and this chain reaction in your joints. You press through your ankle and your knee and through your hip and you roll your weight. And as you do, can you feel if one side is easier, if the rolling feels more natural, if you feel more momentum on one side, if it feels more synchronized, easier and lighter? And can you feel this sliding movement in the palms of your hands now? And can you turn your palms? If your palms are looking on the floor, can you turn them up towards the ceiling? And if they're up towards the ceiling, can you turn them on the floor now and check out what does the position of the palm change for this rolling motion? Very nice. And let it go and have a rest. You can let your arms down. And for a few breaths, can you feel your shape on the floor? Can you feel the way your ribs are touching the floor? Can you sense your shape? Can you allow your head to roll on the floor? And as your head turns and your face turns to look one side and then the other, can you allow your head to roll along the floor so you're not turning the head in the same position? You don't allow the head to roll in place, but you rather allow it to roll along the floor, and feel your shoulder blades and your ribs and your breath. How is this movement now? And then you bend only your right knee and you stand only your right foot. And you open the left arm to the side. And can you begin now pressing through the right foot? Find again this sensation that through the pressing of the foot, You allow your ribs to roll on the floor. And as your ribs roll on the floor, you allow the left arm to reach very gently and very softly. We're not looking for stretching, just feeling if your hand naturally slides on the floor. Just a small movement that begins through your ribs, through this rolling motion of the ribs. And can you make the movement slower now and bigger? So you press through your foot and you allow your right hip to lift. You're rolling the pelvis to the left as if you were going to come to your side now. It's a bigger movement and you're reaching. You're using your foot to press down and reach through your left hand. Can you feel what your chest is doing? Can you feel how the ribs of your chest are turning now? And can you play around with the position of the hand so that each time you press down through your foot and allow your ribs to roll on the floor, you allow your hand to reach in a slightly different direction. Just as a baby rolls on the floor and tries to reach for his toy, can you find this easy and effortless movement of rolling, and can you use your breath now? How do you roll? Do you inhale to reach with your left hand? Only the left hand. You press through your right foot and reach on the floor with your left hand, just soft and easy, as if there was something right in front of you and you're just reaching out with your fingertips. And as you reach with your left arm, can you find a slightly different direction each time? And sense now what happens to your chest and what happens to the back of your neck as the position of the hand changes. Do you feel the rolling in the back of the head changing? Is your head tilting? Is your head rolling? And which side does it feel like going? And allow your head to go wherever it wants. Just feel this motion of reaching. And as you reach, you're no longer looking at what you're reaching at. We usually look when we're reaching. Our eyes are looking at our fingertips that are trying to catch something. Can you now deconstruct this movement? So as you reach with your left hand, you allow your head to turn now to the right. Can you find a place for your neck to soften and allow your head to roll to the right and have a rest? Can you feel the right and the left shoulder blade? And could you think of rolling your head very gently and slowly from side to side? And as you roll now, can you feel if anything has changed for your neck? And let's find the same movement on the other side. But there's always this problem about the second side, is that you know what you're doing. And for a complicated movement, it's fine because you do it quicker and you learn it easier. But in these kind of movements that are small, we don't want to pass over what is new. So as you begin this new movement, can you think of it as a new movement? Explore it as it is a completely different movement, because it is. So take your time and feel again, pressing through your foot. Allow your pelvis to roll and sense now this feeling, this movement between your foot and your pelvis. and how the movement rolls and how it goes up the spine. And can you find again this rolling motion for your ribs? So yeah, that now you're not pressing again your right shoulder blade into the floor, but you concentrate yourself in making this direction of rolling towards the side, so that the right arm that is open to your side now is like as if it was reaching something without stretching the shoulders, without stretching the arm, just reaching softly as if it was something right in front of your fingers. Reaching, but also being able to make it so soft that you're sensing the gliding of the hand on the floor. You allow your hand to slide. And can you play around with different positions of your arm and see what happens when you bring it up above your shoulder height, when you bring it up towards your head, and when you bring it down towards your ribs. Each time a different direction of reaching. And do it slowly, because you want to pay attention not to the reaching of the hand, but what happens to your ribs and the shape of your spine and the rolling of yourself on the floor. Keep a deep, soft breath and a soft face. Can you use your breath in a way to make the movement easy now? Do you roll your ribs on your inhale or on your exhale? Can you try both? And then can you think of looking away from the place you are reaching? So as you reach with your right hand, you allow your eyes to turn to the left. You soften your neck and you find out where does your neck want to go if you're not looking at your hand. Can you turn your head to the left as you reach to the right? And how is your head turning? Is it rolling in the same place? Can you allow it to roll in a different direction? Can you allow your neck to soften and your head to tilt a bit towards your shoulder blade? Can you explore the directions of your neck that are comfortable? So you allow your neck to soften as your hand reaches away. And let it go and have a rest. This movement of the neck with the reaching, if you want an image for it, like the Renaissance Italians, which they're reaching, but they're allowing their head to draw back. So they're not reaching and looking at what they want. They're reaching, but they're also letting go. So this is kind of the image. So this reaching, but also softening of the neck. So with this idea in mind, let's open both arms again to the side, bend both knees. And can you find this soft reaching? So you open your arms to the side, you find the place. They don't have to be shoulder height now. They can be wherever you felt that it was easier to reach and keep a soft neck. So one arm could be higher and the other lower. They don't need to be symmetrical anymore. And start pressing through the left foot and reaching through the right arm, finding how do you soften now the neck and allow this reaching to become soft in your chest, softer in your ribs, and softer in your neck. So you find this Renaissance quality of reaching and not reaching at the same time. And then you do it on the other side and you feel how is the shape of your ribs on one side and the other, and how is the tilting of the head and the rolling of the head. And of course, it will be very different on one side and the other. And that's exactly what we want to do. We want to find ease in one side and the other. It doesn't need to be symmetrical. It needs to feel as soft on one side than on the other. Very nice. And then let it go. And just find a very small movement. So you open your arms to the side, you bring them symmetrical, hip, shoulder height. You bend your knees, you press one knee and the other, and this time you find a shimmy. So as you roll side to side, can you feel your chest rolling also? Can you feel your ribs rolling? But make it faster and faster and faster and faster until now you're almost like a Latin dancer. And as you do roll, shiki, 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 from side to side, can you feel what happens to the palms on the floor? Are they sliding just a bit too? Without trying to reach now, can you feel that if you roll your ribs, if you roll yourself on the floor, your arms are extending the movement by themselves without you trying to reach? And can you feel what happens to the head in this soft shimmying movement? Can you soften the neck and can you allow the head to roll a bit on the floor like a bubble head? So you just allow it to follow the movement. Very nice. And let it go and have a rest. Feel the weight on the floor. Can you feel your weight in each heel? Can you feel the weight in each hip? Can you feel the sensation in your ribs? Can you feel the weight in each shoulder blade? And can you gently roll your head now, rolling from one side to the other? And as you do roll, can you feel the movement of the head in your shoulder blades, maybe in your ribs? How far down your spine, how far down your ribs can you feel this movement? And let it go and have a rest, have a breath, and you can come from sitting to standing and keeping your attention in your ribs and in your shape and in your head. Have a walk around your room and feel how you carry your head.